If the early 2020s were the years of the hype watch, then 2023 is definitely the turning point where brands like Vacheron Constantin, emboldened by releases like the insanely popular Vacheron Constantin 222, are now looking even more to the past to light up the future. Now, this Les Collectionneurs program has been running since 2008, but starting this year, watches worthy of this inclusion have been made available via select Vacheron Constantin boutiques, as well as the brand's online store. It is currently only offered from the brand's US, Shanghai and Dubai boutiques, and we got the opportunity to check out 3 of these incredible creations in person. Now, if you're coming in late and wondering about Les Collectionneurs, this is where Vacheron Constantin takes select pieces from the past and restore them to almost better than their former glory. So this is a way to engage with pieces that haven't had an overall re-release, such as the 222, and to in fact find rough diamonds and obscure pieces that look so on trend decades after their first release. Let's start with the Vacheron Constantin Openworked Perpetual Calendar Platinum, reference 43032 from 1995. What better way to start than with the biggest of the big guns? The reference 43032 hails from 1995, when I was finishing high school, and is crafted in 36mm of 950 platinum, offering views of the hand-engraved Perpetual Calendar caliber within. This watch, and in particular the movement, were hugely important for the survival of such complicated watches in the advent of the quartz crisis, which happened about 20 years before this date. The base for what would become the 1120/1 QP SQ is Jaeger-LeCoultre's pre-quartz Crisis Caliber 920, which is the thinnest automatic movement on the market at the time. With the help of a reworked Perpetual Calendar module from Dubai Duprat, the Vacheron Constantin manufacturer developed the 1120 QP. If anything proves just how incredible this movement was, or should I say still is, it's the fact that it's still in production today, powering the likes of the Patrimony, Overseas and Traditional models, though with some changes since the original. Now, the reference 43032 is not just important, it's also really rare, with only about 150 skeletonized platinum pieces made, of which the majority had white subdials, like the model in this instance. It doesn't really get any more special than this, and we haven't even spoken about the engraving work. One totally nerdy, and to most, absolutely ridiculous detail to point out is the strap. Now bear with me. See these little indents in the ends of the strap? Those are there so you can remove it without damaging the case. The Vacheron Constantin reference 43032 is part of the Shanghai watch selection, listed as available from the United States on the brand's Australian website. Price is on request. Next up is the Vacheron Constantin Jumping Hours and Mysterious Minutes in 18-karat yellow gold. The reference 43040 from 1996 sports a dial that basically leaves out the regular handset, instead choosing a jumping hour aperture at 12 o'clock and an onyx mysterious minutes pointer. God, I love a mysterious minutes pointer. Even though this particular piece was produced in the late 20th century, its Art Deco inspirations actually go back to the 1930s, which is a period Vacheron is obsessed with, looking at the latest Les Cabinotières pieces and the rare pocket and wristwatches of the era. Now, while there are no excessive flourishes to its design, there are a few touches that I'm particularly fond of. And with all Vacheron Constantin, I'm drawn to the Maltese cross motif. So the first is that, a small Maltese cross that replaces the arrow indices surrounding the rest of the dial. And the other is the shape of the surround to the jumping hours aperture. Vacheron Constantin could have easily gone for a simple trapezoidal form here. Instead, they've chosen a more fitting open book-like look. The Vacheron Constantin reference 43040 is part of the Shanghai watch selection, available from the United States on the brand's Australian website. The price is, in Australian, $134,000. Last but never least is the Vacheron Constantin octagonal time only in 18-karat white gold, reference 34004 from 1974. The last member of this trio is the dad of the group and perfectly encapsulates the era it hails from. The mid-1970s were awash with curiously shaped cases that are somehow looking more and more on trend, and the usage of natural stone dials was at its peak. The reference 34004 combines the two by putting together an eminently elegant black onyx and soft square white gold case measuring only 6.5 millimeters in height. Dress watch par excellence. Now, despite being produced in the post-quartz crisis, the 34003 sports a K1014 caliber, which is a fine, manually wound, extra-thin movement. And on a personal note, this is the one watch of the three presented that I would wear on a daily basis. It speaks to me in its uncomplicated yet refined expression, begging to be worn with a pair of tassel loafers and a wide-lapelled, checkered trouser suit. Can you see that? I can see that. That's a future me waiting to be realized. The Vacheron Constantin reference 34004 was available in the United States, but has since been sold. And it was sold for 41,800 Australian dollars. Thanks for listening to this Vacheron Constantin Les Collectionneurs review. If you're interested in this subsection of Vacheron Constantin watchmaking, you should watch this space, as the watches that appear in Les Collectionneurs are truly sights to behold, and they are all very refined blasts from the past. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to Time+Tide. We love having you here, and the best thing of all is your commentary on our commentary. So get down in the comments and tell us what you think of these watches below. And have a wonderful day. Andrew signing off.